Palestine refugee women, almost 1 million of them, half under 20 years of age, thousands who have spent their whole lives as refugees. Some, like Nuha and her family, live a busy urban life in the cities and towns of the Middle East. Others live in the crowded refugee camps of Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. These women must deal with the daily challenge of making refugee camp life seem normal for themselves and their families. This busy street scene typifies their way of life. But they all share a goal of improving their lives, a goal being realized for some through a United Nations education program for Palestine refugee children. In 1951, just over 20% of the students were girls. Now, 50%. Their early education begins in schools like this one at Market Camp in Jordan, one of 650 schools run by UNRWA with the technical help of UNESCO, offering 6 years of elementary and 3 years of secondary education. Secondary schooling can be completed at state or private schools with some financial aid from UNRWA. After, they can attend one of UNRWA's vocational or teacher training centers or go on to university on an UNRWA scholarship. The path for Nuha is vocational training. Nuha's 2 older sisters have already graduated from UNRWA's Amman Training Center, leading them to well-paying jobs. Thus, they now make a financial contribution to the family, helping improve its standard of living and allowing Nuha and the younger children to continue their education. But not all are as fortunate as Nuha. Hundreds of qualified applicants to UNRWA's training centers are turned away each year due to lack of space. Every school day, an UNRWA bus takes Nuha to the formerly all-male Wadi Sir Training Center north of Amman, Jordan. Nearby is the Amman Training Center, which provides teacher training for men and women, and some vocational courses for women. Coeducation came to the Wadi Sir Center in 1979. Now several technical and paramedical courses here, and also at UNRWA's Damascus Vocational Training Center, have been opened to women. Nuha is studying architectural drafting, while other young women are taking courses to become construction technicians, surveyors, or assistant pharmacists. The principal of the Amman Training Center, Ms. Hayat Yaghi, herself a Palestine refugee, has watched the changes in educational patterns of women over the years.
The old Palestinian generation were deprived of education, especially women, due to many factors. Now, these elderly women and mothers are ready to sacrifice for everything in order to furnish the chance for her daughter to start her elementary, preparatory, secondary, and university education. Education is life for a Palestinian woman, and through education she builds so many hopes. Palestinian women are so keen on having their education to the fullest. If you happen to visit any refugee camp, or any other area where Palestinians reside, you would see even a Palestinian child so enthusiastic and clinging to start his education from his elementary cycle until hopefully reaching his university stage.
Nurha should have no trouble finding employment after graduation. Her two sisters found rewarding jobs. One is employed at the aluminum company in Jordan.
I will put your letter and the contract on the agenda for the coming board meeting. Any new development will be forwarded to you in due time.
Other women have gone into the field of medicine, becoming nurses or doctors after studying at local government training centers or Arab universities, many on UNRWA scholarships. In 1983, more than 70 women received UNRWA scholarships, 27 going to women studying medicine. UNRWA-sponsored students, both men and women, have consistently been at the top of their classes. This success not only means personal achievement, but an improved quality of life for their families, and as here, a major contribution to the healthcare system of the Middle East. Engineering is also becoming an increasingly popular field for Palestine refugee women. This woman completed her training a few years ago and now has the experience to supervise a large construction project. Such women are entering all walks of life at high levels of responsibility, and they are knocking on the doors of professions that were once thought only for men. There have been many changes since UNRWA opened a training center for women 20 years ago. Nurha is benefiting from these changes. New professions for women, a new role for women in the Middle East. Their success serves as an inspiration to others, providing a hope for them to develop themselves and to improve their society.